If you've got one of Thrustmaster's modular Xbox controllers, the eSwap X or the newer, cheaper, and slightly stripped down eSwap S, you might want to add a little color pop to your gamepad, or, curse this potentiometer world, you might get stick drift. As these are modular controllers, you can replace parts such as the thumbstick modules, Dpad, triggers, and these little side panels. Also, one of the key points of this video, instead of spending $25 for one individual module, you can get these color accent kits for $55, better value there because it comes with two working modules, plus I got mine for $40 on Amazon. It's the identical kit. It's been this price for almost a month now. $40 for all this accoutrement to snap onto your controller. And we'll install these bad boys. Let's get it.
This is your controller captain. We've reached 6,900 feet. Go ahead and start flicking the sticks and mollywopping the back paddles.
You don't like back paddles? How about those rear buttons? We've tested almost 100 custom and premium controllers, and we're only at the beginning. You need a thumbstick guide or tutorial on how to overclock your controller? Check out the controller playlist. Bing bong.
Controller captain out.
So an interesting note, even though these kits are advertised as the eSwap X, and on the back compatibility is only listed for the eSwap X, the thumbstick modules are the mini sticks that Thrustmaster uses on their newer and cheaper eSwap S, as well as the OG eSwap X that's a little bit more feature rich, their flagship if you will, that does have more modular or removable parts such as these side panels, the triggers, the D-pad, and these thumbstick caps, which are threaded, not magnetized. But I wanted to bring that to the attention of all eSwap S owners that these kits are a pretty budget-friendly way for you to get two usable modules for your eSwap S, even though these kits have a lot of parts that won't be usable for you unless you have an eSwap X. Let's get into the box. As this is a licensed Xbox product, not made by Microsoft, but for the Xbox, it does have the design for Xbox stamp and sigil in the corner, and of course some lime green branding. Phil Spencer would be proud. You have a surplus of languages on the back. If you wanted to pause the screen to read some of the key features, you could do so now. Now, there are several colorways available, and these kits that are labeled as crystal packs do have LED glow that fades through the modules and the D-pad, which looks pretty sick, IMO, or in my personal opinion. So I was very curious how this was going to be packaged, how these loose individual components were going to be held in place. Were they going to be in some bubble wrap or something? No, no, no. It's the exact material the trays and the controller boxes were. If you saw my, well, I'm sure you caught the review for these two bad boys. If you didn't, that is linked in the description below. This is the exact same tray that holds the controllers in place. It is a very soft, suede, velvety material. Very nice. Especially because these controllers don't necessarily break the bank in the pro controller market. That's why we always check underneath the trays here. You do have a little silica gel packet. Make sure you dispose of that properly. Didn't just throw that on the floor. There's a trash bin under here. Little baggie over here with a couple of Phillips head screws. You know what that's for? The triggers. But you could probably just use the two Phillips head screws that are already holding the trigger caps in place. Then you have your instruction manual, how to install these, but you don't need this. Not saying you don't know how to read, but you don't need to read this because you can just watch me install them right now with some cool music in the background. Why read when you can watch? Picture's worth 1,000 words and a video's worth 1,000,000. Our subscriber count by next year. And it's a good thing that you don't need this because just like the Thrustmaster instruction manuals, pamphlets, or brochures for their controllers, it is a downside. It is a con. It is a shortcoming with these pro controllers. It just simply isn't going to do it. I like to take a top-down approach to my videos, and I'm going to give you a top-down view as well of the desk. Now, the majority of these parts are incredibly simple to install as they are simply magnetized and just pop in and out. The thumbstick modules have these little magnetized bases and then these pogo pins and contact pads, and that's how these modules work. Unlike the DualSense Edge, which actually has two metal levers, which I think is a more secure mechanism, but this does get the job done. And sure enough, to get the new bad boys in place, you're just gonna drop them in. They are hot swappable. Go ahead and remove this plastic sticker, and that looks pretty gorgeous. I definitely like that blue color, and it'll look even better with some light bleeding through it. Probably easier to take off the sticker prior to installing the modules. Let's work smarter, not harder. As for removing the D-pad on the Thrustmaster X, you're going to get a fingernail up underneath either side and just simply pull up with a good amount of force, and the module will pop out like that. So this is gloss or piano black, and as you can see, there's already a smudge right there. Not a huge fan of gloss or piano black in 2023. It looks relatively tacky and will collect fingerprints and micro scratches like nobody's business. Now, you do have two short concave sticks installed by default, but if you want two short dome sticks, you know how to install them? You're going to twist them to the left, lefty-loosey, because they are threaded, which is a very interesting design. And then you do have a little rubber O-ring in there that, you know, just gonna leave it on there. It's meant to be on there, so just leave it on. As for these side panels, they are also held on by two magnets, so very easy installation. Can't install them the wrong way, as you can see. I tried to, and it said, hey, Kevin, you're doing something silly. So very interesting. This kit actually does not include a tiny Phillips head screwdriver, so hopefully you have one laying around, or if you did get the Swap X, not the S, it will come with a Phillips head. Remove these 2 Phillips head screws. I also noticed I was getting a nasty glare on the eSwap S over here, so I remedied that. Gotta love magnetized tools. This kit is linked in the description below. I use this for all my controller teardowns and disassemblies. I actually like the stock triggers, this kind of sandstone beige or desert tan, if you will. Looks very good in my opinion, but to go with the kit, we are gonna replace them with these clear blue crystal joints over here. They are labeled LT for left trigger and RT for right trigger, and you do still have that etch pattern for a little bit of extra grip. So I'm using the included Phillips heads that came out of the stock triggers, not the 2 that came with the kit. I will say, in my personal opinion, the black does not go very good with this blue and white. In fact, I think it's a bit of a color clash. I do think that if there was a white version of the Thrustmaster X, that it would go much better with this particular kit. But let's plug this in and get a little bit of light glowing through. Staring at ye old controller wall for a backdrop, a little ambiance, and I forgot that this was a micro USB controller before they made the jump to USB-C, so I think this is actually from a Razer mouse, believe it or not. Cutout is very deep, so hopefully you have a small enough micro USB cable, or the stock one, to make clearance. There we go. Let's cut some lights in here. Oh my lord. That is a bright, vibrant, most importantly, bright glow. Is there a way to dim or disable that? So the answer is yes, but you don't have a whole heck of a lot of control. You have 3 levels: off, low, and high, which I'll demonstrate right now. That one right next to the 3.5mm jack. Hold that down while you jack yourself with the D-pad over here. Up is going to be just that, up in intensity, and then down is going to be down in intensity. Let's cut the lights. All of them, like overhead light and everything. Yeah, not the desk lights. That's fine. That's fine. So off, low, and high. I will say, even at low, it is still a very, very bright, vibrant light, which is cool, but it actually can be a little bit too bright if you're playing in a very dark room. So with the next version or iteration of these kits, it would be nice if there was more control, like maybe 5 or 6 levels, not 2, 3 including off. Wowzers. Flashbanged. That's the thumbnail right there. You know it, and I know it. Maybe move my thumb out of the way a little bit. Perfect. I would want to click on that video. I'm a little biased on the guy making it, but geez, just to show you I wasn't talking out of my patootie, here's the eSwap S, and it is using both of those modules. Let me cut the lights. They are lit up to kingdom come. You can save quite a bit of money by going with the full color accent kit over just the individual modules. Quite a bit of value for $40, which is what these kits are currently going for. I will say at the recommended MSRP of $55, it does become less of a good value. If you look at Thrustmaster's authorized vendors over here, which by the way, all these say Thrustmaster eShop and they're not labeled, but they go to different regions. Like one might be a Europe shop, one's not Europe. A lot of these I've never heard of, and the only one that I would consider reputable or trust personally would be Amazon. That's my personal preference as to where I'm going to pick up these Thrustmaster kits. Overall, I think these kits provide a tremendous value, as do the actual controllers, considering that they are modular and their base prices for what they offer feature-wise are quite good if you can get over the somewhat clumsy rear button design and some of the other complaints that I mentioned during my comprehensive review. If you are curious, my full unlock thoughts on both of these gamepads, linked in the description below, is my comprehensive review of the S and the X over here. These color pop accent kits are linked in the description below, as well as the eSwap S and X, the controllers themselves. Just plugging a bunch of links down there in the description section. Drop in the comment section your opinion of the Thrustmaster controllers or what you're using to play on Xbox, and I'll see you Stallions and Stallionettes tomorrow. Peace. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, as well as honest gaming product reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. There are some hefty exclusive discount codes found only in the description of my videos and only for the audience here at Gamer Heaven. I have links to all my other platforms and socials in the description below. To get in touch with myself and the Stallions and Stallionettes of Gamer Heaven, join the community Discord, and check me out at twitch.tv where I go live every other leap year on a blue moon if it falls into an odd calendar number, and my pH balance is on point. Just kidding, starting June I'm going to be live streaming a lot. Thanks for watching. This has been AK40 Kevin hosting Gamer Heaven, and I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily, all the time, 60% of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Peace.